Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be a update on the base, as well as my thoughts on the new Fantastic Four Silver Surfer. Well, not Silver Surfer. Fantastic Four First Steps trailer. What I like, what I don't like. But real quick, well, you know what? While I'm doing this, I'm going to. All this should be pretty familiar to people who have watched other videos. But let me show you what I've got so far. So this is this is from the last video. This is going to be my first collection floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a mob farm above this, and it doesn't even need to be enclosed because if you're more than 15 blocks away from a light source, there's not going to be any light, obviously. So don't even need a roof for it. Mobs will spawn because it's just nighttime and there's no light sources nearby. So I think this looks pretty slick. This is going to be my collection chamber. And just so y'all know, the central hole is going to be a theme that extends all the way from ground level all the way up to the sky. Now, as you can see here, this is going to take forever. I'm not really counting on this. I've got a couple other places I'm growing kelp, but just for shits and giggles, excuse my French, is growing. So I'm gonna have to just add about 300 or so all the way up, but that goes all the way up to build limit. And hold on, because you can't see anything. I'm going to take the render distance up to 20 chunks. See if, there you go. All right. You know what? And in fact, I think I could just, I don't know if I can quickly swim up there. I don't think this is quickly, but while I'm talking, I can just, swim up there. It's going to take a little while, so just bear with me. Once it's a bubble elevator, it'll be much, much quicker. It'll take me all the way to the top. So, but this will give you an ideal of what the scale of the skyscraper we're dealing with is. As all of you know, they raised the build limit to 322, I think it is. So this is going to be a massive, massive building, and I don't know quite how I'm going to do this because I want to do it in the style of Plains Villages. I want the skyscraper to look like a skyscraper version of the villages. So I don't know how we're going to do that. And of course, this is just the chunk. The actual building will probably be much, much larger with, outside elevators, things like that exist outside of the come on. Things that exist outside of the chunk, such as elevators and whatnot. But yeah, we are way up here. So yeah, there's a program that actually allows me to basically store the existing render distance. I think I might use that. And then there's the neighboring village. So we are way up here. And then of course you can just fall down. Just gotta make sure I don't fall through that hole. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do when everything's said and done, we're gonna have several of these collection floors, everything with a hole in the center. So product, all the farms, when items can fall from the very top all the way down. And of course down here, this is gonna have to go lower, but this is just for starters, because I really need I need a mob spawner because all my items are getting broken. Well, I did put mending on that as well, but yeah, I need a mob farm so that I can chop chop chop. I can heal my items because man, they are breaking so easily. But anyways, the reason why this wall is looking like this is because I'm going to count up 28, was it 28? Yeah, 28 spaces from that ground level that you saw down there, so I'll include that too. And then that will be my first mob farm floor. So I'm going to go with the traditional design, except in the back, there's going to be a gap. You know what I'm talking about with the water streams pushing towards the middle. Except we don't need water streams. We just need trapdoors. And then those 4 platforms will be surrounded with trapdoors so that mobs can walk off in any direction. But yeah, so this is gonna be pretty amazing. So we're gonna have one collection floor for the mobs, and then we're gonna have other collection floors for things like sugarcane, bamboo, pumpkins, melons, all the items that I'm gonna have automated farms for. And then, like I said, then of course we're going to do it kind of in the style of a villager. So we're probably gonna use like a lot of oak, a lot of cobblestone, oak logs, planks, things like that. But I want the skyscraper to resemble these because once I finish my one chunk skyscraper, I'm actually going to uh, tear all this up. All these farms are going to be moved to the one chunk skyscraper, and I'm going to do my best to restore the natural terrain, complete with new houses and things like that, and some variations. I'll build traditional small houses, and then some variations. Because we are playing on a nighttime world that that never changes. The sun never it changes, but the sun never comes up. Since we're building on that world, villagers will not farm for me. So doesn't matter if they have the villager block, job block or not, right? Composters. Doesn't matter if they got that or not. They're never ever going to. Oh, wait a second. Did he? Oh no, he's just he's nothing. He didn't take any jobs. So I really need an unbreaking. So far, we've had no luck. But we've got protection, Frostwalker I'll never use, efficiency 5 at a great price. I've never seen them for 20. Fortune 3, which I really need to put that on my hoe want to end farm with that. Silk Touch and Mending. So I actually don't need that other one. This one here is Silk Touch. That one's Silk Touch as well. I don't need him, even though he's cheaper. Fire Protection 4. I like having a suit of uh, diamond fire protection because I'm terrified of the nether, and that helps me so much with ghast and other mobs. So, but yeah, this is going to be pretty amazing. I'm really excited for this. I've wanted to do this for quite a long time, for over a year now. But anyways, okay, so that's that. Oh, let me show you. I did find some sand way over there, so I am going to create another portal to it. I'll take down the coordinates and make another portal too. So, but I think I'm already repeating this. I got some too tall flowers. I've got some job blocks. I got some bamboo was a big find. Jungle saplings, acacia, vines, cocoa beans. So there's some trash in here too. I think I'm almost certain I'm repeating myself, but uh, I'm just excited. Once I get this mob farm up and running, it's going to be 3 levels. Then I'll do another collection floor on top of that, and we'll start with some of these mob farms. So the ones that I can automate, I'll save. I'll probably need some actual farms out here in the world. Oh, hold on just a second. Oh, I heard an Enderman. They do not like the rain. Just making sure he didn't steal one of my job blocks. Okay, so that's that. Fantastic Four, first steps. They showed another trailer, and I already knew that Silver Surfer was going to be gender swapped. I already knew that. I've known that for quite some time. I was kind of surprised they didn't show that in the first trailer. Um, do I have a problem with it? Yes, I do, and I don't care if people think that makes me a bigot of some sort or whatever. Silver Surfer is an iconic character, and yes, I know that there is a one shot. It's like an issue or something where Shalla-Bal, his love interest, becomes well, actually, Norrin Radd, the traditional Silver Surfer, he like shares his power with her, and they both become heralds. It's a different universe. It's like universe 999997, I believe, if memory serves. So it's not official. It's an alternate timeline. That's like saying, oh well, Superman kills or Batman kills, and then using some elseworld story to make your argument. So, by the way, they both do and have and will again. But that's neither here nor there. That's so things that I like about the trailer. I love the '60s aesthetic. I love the retro yet futuristic feel. It's very reminiscent if of what people thought the future was going to look like. If you ever looked at like World Fair, I think it's called World Fair, magazines and publications where they envisioned flying cars and all kinds of crazy inventions, yet they didn't see things like the internet coming and what have you. It's kind of a it's beautiful. It's beautiful. There's no other way to put it, because it's our parents and grandparents' idea of the future, a future that never came to pass for one reason or another. Um, so it's very endearing. It's very charming. It's very quaint. It's an idealized world. You'll notice that white people, black people, rich, poor, everybody, men, women, everybody's just getting along. No hostility towards each other. No racism. No sexism. No isms. No ists. Everybody's just happy and chill. So you know. But anyways, so I like that style. I like the look of the thing. I like Johnny Storm when he's on fire. Not so much when he's not. The actor, and I've heard he's an amazing actor. I'm not familiar with his work, and I never blame actors for shortcomings in script, plot, things like that. That's beyond their control. All they can do is do the best job they can with the lines given to them. Um, and the actor in particular, oh god, I can't think of his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's like something Quinn, I think, Joseph Quinn. Anyways, that's not it, I don't think. But anyways, God, that's loud. I need to turn that down. He reminds me much more of those flashbacks of Robert Downey Jr. I don't know if you remember that, but Robert Downey Jr. had a de-aged flashback scene. He looks very, very much like that, and I'm wondering if there's not some reason behind that. Because I mean, I've seen everybody say the same thing. It's like, oh my God, he looks just like a young Robert Downey Jr. from those flashback scenes. So maybe there's a point to that. Maybe what I'm saying. Maybe the MCU is going to do something wild and crazy with that. Um, let's see. What's her name? Vanessa Kirby. I think she's a little too old for the part, as well as Pedro Pascal. They're both about 10 years older, or at least 10 years older than the character should be. Um, if memory serves, Reed Richards was always portrayed as like a man in his late 30s, early 40s. He wasn't old, he just was, premature gray. So, Sue was like, 5, 7 years younger than that. So, I don't think, and I'm not trying to be mean, it's just this is my opinion. It is what it is. I don't think she's attractive enough to play Sue Storm. She's not a bad looking woman at all, okay? I know you're not supposed to talk about a woman's looks, but I'm just starting with her because I'm heterosexual and I don't look at men in that way. So, but we'll get to that. But yeah, I don't think she's got the traditional looks of Susan Storm. I don't feel Susan Storm when I see her, and I don't feel Johnny Storm when I see him, and honestly, I don't feel Pedro Pascal. The only one that really looks the part is CGI Thing, and getting to that real quick, he doesn't sound at all like the Thing. When I hear the Thing in my mind, it's very close to Michael Chiklis from the 2005 2007 movie. So, um, So things, things that I like, things I don't like. I don't like the Thing's voice. I wish they were using some kind of modulation or something. Make it gravelly. You give it that kind of gravelly sound, because that's, to me, that's what the Thing's always going to sound like. He sounds like this. He's like cooking in the kitchen. He's got a bit of an accent, and it's just like, nah, that's not the Thing. I'm sorry. Doesn't sound anything like that. But and Reed Richards, Pedro Pascal. I noticed he's getting a lot of hate lately. I don't hate Pedro Pascal. He is way overused though. He's like in everything these days, and he's decent. He's an okay actor. He's not terrible. I don't see him ruining scenes, or chewing up scenery. But he's very mid. His performances are totally forgettable. I never see a movie with Pedro Pascal in it and go, oh my god, that scene with Pedro Pascal. I've never said that in my life, and I doubt I ever will. He's just a very, honestly, his best work was Game of Thrones. That was the closest he came to a great performance, and it's been kind of like dialed in ever since then. But I know he's popular with the ladies. I know a lot of women find him very attractive. So, yeah, that's fine. I'm just talking about his acting range, which isn't very great. So, um, yeah, I'm really not feeling this movie. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's good, but it's already starting to feel like you know, like the MCU. I know a lot of people don't like that term, but I don't know how else to describe it. It's this intentional push to project strength and control with women, and there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is, I mean, who doesn't like a strong woman? I certainly do, okay? But the problem is when you have to tear down men around you, around the female character, to make her appear stronger and more competent than she is, then you don't know how to write strong women. You don't know how to write competent leaders that happen to be women. So um, it just, so far, it feels like that. Like Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards does not at all seem like the world's smartest man. I know he's like jotting stuff down on a chalkboard, like but every time they show him, his eyebrows are upturned, like he's got the sad puppy dog face on, and even in the trailer, like there's like two or three separate occasions where he's just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm good enough. So we're gonna get this is so irritating at this point. We're going to get a weak man, right? And we're going to get a strong female character in Susan Storm. And probably the most irritating part is um, if they do stick with the story of Silver Surfer and Galacticus and they're just using a gender swapped Silver Surfer, we're going to have two women. I guarantee you it's going to be Susan Storm and female Silver Surfer, plotting to save the Earth. And the men are just going to be along for the ride. I guarantee you. I hope I'm wrong, but I guarantee you that's exactly what's going to happen. That's what my gut's telling me. So, because this movie was written, it was created in the MCU's MCU phase. So, when they came out with this ton of female characters, and the few male characters they did have were outshined by their female co-stars. That was like MCU, phase 4. So, um, this is a residual from that. They started creating this movie back when that was going full steam. And my final thought on the movie and on the trailer is they should have gone with Nova. Anybody who knows anything about Silver Surfer and Fantastic Four knows that there already was a female Herald, and she is canon. She exists in the 616 Marvel Universe, the main timeline. Her name was Frankie Ray, or is Frankie Ray. She's not deceased as far as I know. But yeah, she's Nova. She's a fiery, golden colored Herald. So you got the same. So you want to differentiate from the Silver Surfer? There you go. I do not understand this need to take a popular male character and just gender bend them into a woman. It's just, or race swap them either. It's just like, I always try to put myself in other people's shoes, and people, will say to me, well, okay, I would, my mother, God rest her soul, my mother always told me to try to see things from other people's perspective. And so my final thought for this video is, if Hollywood was run by whatever, 95, 97% white people, people of light skin color, right? Sorry, that is the case. if the I'm getting confused here. Sorry. If the roles were reversed, right, and I was the minority, okay, and every movie was coming out was 95, 90, 97% dark skinned people, right, and I rarely ever saw a white character, a light skinned character, right? If the roles were reversed, I would be pretty upset if they just took a side character, a B, C tier character, right, that was black, switched them to white and said, here you go, here's your representation. I would be a little irate. I would want my own original character to represent me as a light skinned white boy. Okay. So, that said, I gotta think that a lot of black Americans and just, dark skinned people around the world, in their heart of hearts, they've got to want their original characters. Like Black Panther was never White Panther. Black Panther was an original character. He's always been dark skinned, and you saw how that movie performed, right? So swapping Batman to black or Superman to black, that's, nobody wants that. Black people don't want that. They want an original character. They don't want a hand-me-down character. I mean, I'm guessing. I don't know. Far be it from me to assume what people want. But like I said, if I put myself in somebody else's shoes and try to imagine what things must be like, that's what I would want. So I can only assume until I'm told otherwise that that's what they want. So, anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. Sorry it was a little bit longer than I thought it'd be. We're going to have some fantastic progress in the next video. I can't wait to show y'all. It's going to be amazing. Because like I said, once this thing gets up and running, once I've got my storage system, cooking, I'm literally going to be able to throw items, wherever I'm at in the in the skyscraper. There'll be a hole right in the middle, and I can just chuck stuff down in there, and the item sorter will sort it. So it's gonna be phenomenal. I can't wait. And then I can once I've got that out of the way, I can beautify it. I'm probably gonna end up making it round, or at least larger than this chunk in appearance, because it's just too narrow to go straight up. Buildings are not that pointy. So, anyways, gotta go. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like; it really helps. And if you got some suggestions on some horror games you want to see, let me know. Okay, love playing the horror games. It's a lot of fun. So, and real quick, as always, if the game costs money, if it's not free, you will get. You send me the money, gift it to me. All right. You can email me on how to do that, or leave a comment. Just gift it to me. I will play it, and I will dedicate the video to you. So, great little way to get your name, shouted out in a video. So, anyways, y'all take care now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope Fantastic Four is good. I hope I'm wrong. At this point, Marvel's kind of let me down. They don't have the track record that they used to. So, anyways, take care.